Hello, and welcome to my Son Different. Today, I would talk to you guys about probably 101 things and talk your ear off. I would talk to you about the winter weather, the severity of the weather across the nation, maybe some events that happened in India, unfortunate. I'd probably talk to you guys more about South Korea, and I can go on and on, but right now I think we need to touch base, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about this event that happened after I got off the internet with an upload that I had. Los Angeles, California. So the other day there was a fire watch. We'll put fire watch. This was a 2-day alert. This was like a high alert for 2 days. It grew in size and severity. This was around LA, Pacific coast of America. And this disaster that we're about to speak of happened in Ventura and Los Angeles counties, California. So this is considered SoCal, Southern California. And so I'm sure you guys have heard. If you haven't, you can check online. There's celebrities who are claiming their house was affected. There are clips of still burning embers. And you can also check on several media outlets for before and after shots of aerial scenes from above. And a small fire triggered the already, like I said, this fire watch warning situation. This fire warning situation, which was the middle of the state down, reaching the border with Mexico. And significant dry conditions of land and properties in and around these initial flames cause catastrophic impact in the fire watch. Is currently declared by President Biden disaster, and has left 200,000 residents of these communities displaced. So I'm writing 200,000 because that's where we're going right now. 2,000 buildings were burnt down, totally destroyed. So like I said, the celebrities have been coming out and speaking about how they're on social media, how their homes were also destroyed by the fires, that they were burnt by these fires. I can probably name Palisades, Hearst, Lydia, let's see, what else was there? Eden. And I think there are only 2 with containment, if any. So, how many acres did it consume? Let's see. How many acres did it consume? Probably a lot, because like each one impacts like thousands of acres, if not, 10,000 acres, some of them. So I'm not sure, but I know that damage estimated upwards $60 billion US dollars. These wildfires can touch and go as the high winds, they call them the Santa Ana. I think I'll just put winds, Santa Ana winds, have caused sparks to jump from lot to lot, randomly drawing devastation. The Santa Ana winds. These winds caused by weather that has also been in severity across all states, including Alaska and Hawaii, by the way, this week alone. And like, we still have snow coming this weekend in Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, snow is still forecasted locally. And, okay, so I basically got the base down of the whole synopsis. And I wrote about celebrities whom live near, I'd say, Sunset, Hollywood Hills, Santa Monica, etc. have all taken to socials shared their stories online. That said, 5 deaths have occurred. Thousands injured, including first responders. Now, probably a couple months ago, as you know, the first response took to task First Response Initiative. In training. They handled this like pros. And I must say, they are more polished than ever before. Los Angeles County. And although they beefed up team spirit, Mayor Karen Bass, you know, the one that we call her the houseless oppressor. People have probably more inappropriate vocab, but I'm not gonna air that out on my channel. So Mayor Karen Bass cut the budget by $17 million. Now, $17 million, why is that significant amount? Because uniforms alone cost one unit almost $20 million. So I'm talking about like gear. It costs them a lot of money. They take care of all their things because they know, basically, you know, they're down and dwindling, and you know, and they have to be in recovery all the time because everything counts. Gas, one car, when everything counts. And if anything goes down, they all, like as you saw in New York City, when they had to pay the toll, everything went to crap. They only a third could respond because of a tollway, you know, but it was coming out of pocket. And they didn't have the cars to pass. They didn't have, you know, because it comes down, you know, to what they got to pay out of pocket. If you're cutting their pay, jobs were left vacant. Gear was worn. Resources dwindled. This cost team and has been seen as a significant I'd say it was a significant how do you say a significant blow to their response effort. And this time they needed team, they needed boots on the ground, yeah. But the jobs had been vacant because they didn't have money to pay, is what I'm trying to get at. You cut the budget, they're not gonna want, you know, to keep people on when they can't pay them. They're gonna end up without cars, without uniform, without, you know, the proper equipment, you know. So I mean, even equipment, obvious was impacted negatively, causing more loss from lack thereof. So I mean, that was just that, and I'm gonna go on because we have another thing to talk about. The water in the fire hydrants was drained. The areas affected all reported dry hydrants. These areas, some utilizing the ocean, some drying up reservoir fed communities who fought the fire tooth and nail themselves. waiting for trucks. So they reported the water was all being used. Every single source of water was being used. But the thing about the fire hydrant is that the local FDs could just open them. Just get their hose and open them. And buildings upon buildings would be watered down and wet. And they would not continuously be considered a hazard, you know? Because to these big flames, one structure is like a box of matches, you know? So, I mean, to them, to these huge masses of flames on lots, it's like, you know, a tumbleweed to them. It's just gonna spark up and engulf in flames, because that's how dry we're talking it was. That's the type of fire watch they are currently in, and because of the high winds, it's going to continue to be a problem. Are forecasted to continue. These continuously have been a factor in bringing I'd say bringing a heightened situation when combating the flames. The more oxygen that gets to the flame, the higher the flame gets. And since these are hills, you know, it easily catches fire, you know, the brush on fire. So like you have like an incline to which it can jump up. The flame shoots up because of the oxygen in the winds, and it can reach the top just that easily, and it could jump a spark from here to here, a flame from here to here, with a hill, with a structures, you know, if they're dense structures, even just trees. Easily a wind can knock a row of trees into a whole brush fire. So that's what's going on with the Santa Ana winds in the forecast. So that's why we always watch the weather and watch the fire watches in California, in SoCal, because that has always been considered a hazard in the, you know, population of, you know, as far as communities are concerned. You know, that's kind of the primary focus, is to preserve life. And like I said, they have a lot of things on their plate when that's concerned and taken into consideration. Mayor Bass was not in LA during these initial stages of crisis. She was not in California during the first 24 hours. She was not in America, to where we all excitedly await our 47th presidential inauguration. She was in Ghana, Africa, attending inaugural celebrations of President John Mahama, whom also sees his second term. So he also had his second term in like 2000, I think 12 to 2017, something like that. And she was in Africa. You didn't hear me wrong. Mayor Bass, during the initial phases of wildfire crisis, was in Africa at the presidential inauguration of Ghana's John Mahama, newfound president-elect, second term. She flew back, had nothing to say to the reporters. She jumped in her car in the morning. It was about 11 here. She spoke for a few seconds, few moments, with a huge group of the response team. And so they did have a few suggestions because they wanted people to know to probably heed evacuation warnings. Probably go to proper shelter. See, FEMA is helping those in need of assistance, which it's already been declared a disaster, so you can freely call them, or if you're at a site where they are, you can go ahead and apply there, sign up there. They do have animal shelters. Are open. For pets. Let's see. What else did they say? Oh yeah. boil water notice. Do not consume water until deemed safe. Wait for announcement. So some people are on boil water notice. Some people are have not been cleared for use of water. And I urge you to wait for announcement that the water is deemed safe to consume, to drink, or at any, cook, whatever, And once that happens, do not just drink it, boil it first. Once the announcement has been established that it was safe to consume, boil it. Continue boiling it until you hear that everybody else is just normally taking water. Because trust me, you don't want to just, when something passes, it's not just, easily cleared. You want to make sure, because this is your body. You know how they say YOLO? Well, you only live once. Boil the water. And make sure when you are listening for evacuations, check to see what shelter to go to. That way you don't cause traffic jams, or you're not like driving around. There's a lot of roads right now are needed for response and evacuation situations on the road, en route, to and fro, are severe. So do not just cruise. Please think about the first response teams and the evacuation areas impacted, whom are still en route to shelters. But like I said, check and see if there's any clear way or easier way to get to these shelters. That way it's just that much easier for you. And do that as soon as possible. Once they say evacuate, jump in the car, gather all your people, whomever, your neighbors, the pets, the baby. Make sure everybody's it, if you can grab something just to make you more comfortable. Of course, a lot of people grab their paperwork and, keep it in a bag by the door, or however they, if you're somewhere that you don't feel safe, immediately look for a shelter. Okay? If you see flames near you, I'm not going to judge you. Nobody should judge you. And you shouldn't criticize yourself harshly. If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel secure, if you feel threatened by the smoke or what have you, you know what? You are top priority right now. You need to take care of you. You need to take care of your people. You need to take care of your household, and find a safer spot for you guys to settle in until this crisis is over. Let's see if there's something that I'm missing. Oh yeah, and the other thing was that they're restricting water. They want the water to be used to fight the fires. And another thing, they are asking that you report roadway blockage So report any sparks, any flames, you know, that haven't been tended to. So report, yeah, just, you know, if you look around and you see something that's off, you know, down power lines, and that's another thing, the electricity also was down for thousands of residents, and that's another inconvenience. So probably charge devices and limit usage. Just make sure you have you know, you can check the radio, you can check online and watch the TV if you have electricity, or however you do it, for evacuations in your area, and continue watching and be safe. You know, that's the most important thing, is that you be safe and use your own judgment call, like I said, because you need to really be alert, stay alert as this continues. I think I said a lot, and I don't want to overwhelm you. I think we can go over it when it's all said and done, and I wish you guys the best. I feel like there's nothing that I can do, because I can't go over there, you know, stop the fire for you. I can't go over there, you know, and fight your battles. But I do hope you guys get squared away, back on your feet, and better weather. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Might sound different. Bye-bye.